Okay, so let's begin by generating some images. So one is the ability to just generate an image from a written prompt. So I click into here and I just type what I want to see. A knight dressed in black armor. And I'm a terrible typist, but that's okay. Sitting astride a white horse, holding a sword and shield. Okay, so that's my prompt. I'm going to click generate. And so here we are with their image generation. I'm going to take you through this step by step, and then we'll look at the nuances that can be created with that image. Okay, so here's our image so far. So first thing I want to do is go over to the left, and you'll see that these are my settings. First is that there's actually two versions. There's Firefly Image 3, and I can actually work with Firefly Image 2 as well. And then I can change the aspect ratio. I could set this to landscape, portrait, square, or widescreen. And then I can either create a piece of art or a photograph. So let's say that I want this to be widescreen and I want it to be a photo, and then I click generate. And once again, it's going to regenerate that image. Okay. All right. And so um, I think I like the art better. Let's go back to art and regenerate. Okay. Then we have the ability to edit the structure. We'll come back to that later. And the structure is the structural elements of the image. And then we have the styles where I can choose something to offer a stylistic look at the image. So for some reason, it didn't give me my shield. It gave me my sword, but not my shield. And one of the things that you'll need to do immediately when you generate images using AI is check the integrity, because it'll do weird things. Especially what I've noticed is with hands and feet, sometimes faces. And for instance, this one is a total fail. The sword is coming out of the horse's leash or reins or whatever. And this type of thing can happen quite often. I'm going to go back up and set it to let's set it back to square. And so you have your structure and your styles. We'll come back to that. And then you have all of these different types of effects, right? So if I go under popular, bokeh effect, layered paper, synthwave painting, if I click on one of these, it adds the prompt down here to the bottom. And then when I click, it generates again. And now it's adding that particular effect onto what was already there. And you can add as many of these and take as many of these off as you want. So it makes it really cool to use because of the fact that um, instead of having to think of things all by yourself, you have these prompts. So, and if I don't like it, I can just click and take that off. Let's see here. We have movements like Art Deco, Art Nouveau, Baroque, glitch art, maximalism, modernism, etc. Cyberpunk, Bauhaus. Let's say I want Art Deco, and I'll click and generate again. Okay. And then we also have things like themes. Let's look at that. Now you see that looks that's actually kind of cool. Let's go to themes and 3D, anime, cartoon, comic book, cinematic, etc., etc., etc. Interior design, pop art, psychedelic. And you can take use one or two at a time, or you can overlap them, right? Let's say I want to use the geometric in addition to the Art Deco. It's going to be doubling down on that, on making it Very linear and geometric in its design. Okay. And then there's also, so that's actually turned out pretty cool. And so let's say that I like one of these, because actually I do. I like all of them. I can save it, right? If I come up here, I click download, and then I can, it asks if I want to do more things with it. So what this will do is jump me over into Adobe Express and add text, add shapes and graphics, create a social post. I'm going to close that. Let's download it again. And then I can come up here, click Save As, and save that into my folder where I can come back and find it again later. And I think I'm going to download all 4 of these. I like how all four of these turned out. And if I click on it, it makes a larger version of it so I can see it in greater detail. I can click and download and then save it. Okay. Now let's do that. I'm going to save that last one too. I can also, when I'm here, click back and forth through all my images. And let's select this one. Let's click download from here and click save as. Save that into my folder. Now, in addition to that, if I go up to the corner here, I can choose edit. I can do a generative fill, generate similar. In this case, I'm going to click generate similar, and what it's going to do is this going to take those images, the image here that I've clicked, and generate similar images in the other categories, in the other 4 slots over here. Okay, so it took that one and made similar ones to that one. So you have themes, you have techniques, right? So let's say that I want it to look more like oil paint. I'll click on oil paint, click generate. Now it's going to add that, and then I can either take the other prompts that I've put on off or keep them as well. Okay. So now it's doing this kind of geometric kind of shapes. Then there's effects, fisheye, isometric, iridescent, etc. Materials, fur, fabric, layered paper. So there's literally millions of combinations just inside of there. And then I can actually take some of these out and then regenerate. And then underneath that are color and tone. So I can say, hey, I want this to be in black and white. And I was going to enter, it's going to create that image in black and white, right? Or golden, monochromatic, muted color, pastel color, vibrant colors. And I can just go through and I can pick and choose. And I can use as many or as few of these as I like. And I can create some very interesting images just that quickly and just that easily. I studied drawing for years, and it would, for me to draw something like this would take a couple hours at least. And then we have our different lighting schemes. I can have a backlit, dramatic light, long time exposure, studio light, surreal lighting might work good here, right? And then I can even change the camera angle. So I come down here, let's let that finish rendering. And I come down and choose, I want a wide angle on that. And so you see how each one of those things is deliberately changed the image and taken it into very different directions. And those are just the basic tabs in here. And we're going to come back and spend more time with some of the more sophisticated tabs as we go on.